huge proportions. We've got this cryptocurrency thing following along with it. It just seems to be like a financial disaster if you want to look at it that way. Not everybody does, though, Joe.
That's right. And we want to welcome you once again to the show. I want to welcome everyone that is watching us through YouTube or through Facebook Live or listening to us over Radio Garden or over 97.7 FM, the frequency, or our website. Thank you once again, and we've always have a great show in store for you. And so yes, there's a lot of commotion going on in the media surrounding cryptocurrencies right now. Sure
is. And just a quick side note on your Radio Garden app. I saw that the other day, and that's a pretty neat app. You can, wheel around the whole world, and where you stop, you could listen to a radio program, based in wherever, New Zealand if you want to or whatever. It was pretty neat. That said, we have some things going on. Just before the show, I checked the pricing on Bitcoin, and it's below 21,000 right now. So it's 20,000 and change right now. So again, people are panicking. Things are happening quickly, but the problem we see might not be as big of a problem as we imagine. You may imagine. Now, again, Joe, if you're one of those people who took money that you really can't afford, or took money that you're going to need for the rent, the electricity bill, the whatever, the car payment, and you put that money into Bitcoin or stocks or something like that, you're going to be you're not going to be liking this, not at all. Unfortunately, I do believe we're not done seeing this. We're not done with this yet. I don't know. I'm not a prognosticator about these things. I can't say when it's going to stop or at what level it's going to stop. But it's here, and it's going to beat us up for a little longer until the system actually comes back, which I don't believe it's going to happen, the current debt-based system, or something else is ramped up. And I personally believe that something else has been in the works for a while. Just don't know exactly what it looks like yet because, well, I'm not in those inner circles, Joe. Not at all. Hey, what is the... What's the number again to the station, Joe?
The number here in the studio is area code 956-789-0702. That's 956-789-0702. Once again, 956-789-0702. And you might want to stay tuned because Chris has a really cool surprise in store.
Yeah. We're trying to get some callers to call in and basically have some interaction on the show. And I know we're still early in the show right now, and I'll offer it up a little bit later. But the fact of the matter is, today I'm throwing it through my mind about how we're gonna try and get some more interaction with our audience. And I came up with an idea that might work. I don't know. You guys be the judge. So what I'm going to do is the first caller here on the Bitcoin Otter Show is going to get $25 from me in Bitcoin.
$25 in Bitcoin. That's cool.
Yeah, I got it preloaded on the phone. Bought it, last week or whatever. A little bit here, a little bit there. So I got it preloaded, and I'm ready to send it out to your wallet. And we could go offline after you give us a call.
And of course, if you don't touch it, that thing's just going to grow.
Exactly. So when you receive $25 worth of Bitcoin at this price, it's basically 1/3 better than if we were to do it last week, because it was at 30-some thousand. So you'll get a larger amount. It might not seem that way, but that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get more Bitcoin for the bang. So call in, talk to us. Let me see. I got some people coming up here. Eric and Mike, thanks for tuning in. Glad to see you. Give us a call if you want at 956-789-0702. First one in, get some Bitcoin. Yes. Okay, Joe. I was thinking a lot about how I was going to approach today's show, because there's a lot of people out there, I'm sure, that are wondering, based on this what seems to be a huge decline in the price. Not so much the value, but the price of cryptos, right? So
I'm glad you mentioned that. You mentioned decline in price, but not in value.
Yes.
Because that's very, very important.
Exactly. You're exactly right. The value is inherent in the Bitcoin. Why? Because, again, it's programmed to be a deflationary asset. The program, again, has a 21 million Bitcoin cap. So only 21 million Bitcoin will ever be minted. And 19 plus have already been minted. So with that program set, it's the complete opposite of what we're seeing with the Federal Reserve note. The Federal Reserve note has no limit, as we can see, right? So they're trying to mess around with it, but the momentum is just way too much. There's going to be something at some point. My crystal ball is broken, but I don't know what exactly is going to occur and how it's going to occur, but I'll tell you what, if you can find a shelter outside of the US dollar, do so. So here I was thinking, how am I going to relate to our audience what it is that my purpose is, the purpose of the Bitcoin Otter organization. So I founded the Bitcoin Otter organization. It is a faith-based organization, just so you know, just so all of our friends know that it's a faith-based organization. And the way I approach the purpose of what it is that we do is thusly. I believe in the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have done to you. So when I extrapolate that and I say to myself, okay, what if one of my friends, what if one of my acquaintances or family members had studied the financial system and its inevitable breakdown for many years, as I have? So let's just say I didn't do that, and then that person, that friend of mine or family member, had some sort of epiphany, if you will, of ways in which she could hide themselves or their family or both from whatever coming disaster is coming down the pike in their estimation. If I had a friend or family member with that type of knowledge, I ask myself, would I want that friend or family member to at least give me an opportunity to find out what it is they know? And the answer is absolutely yes. Absolutely. If someone that I know, someone that I care about, knew something about what was going on, I would at least like them to tell me, hey, what do you think about this? Why do you think that? And how can I get out of the way? Therefore, if I want someone to do that for me, I want to do it for others. So that's basically our purpose in a nutshell, to do for others what I would like to have done for me. And people have. I've shared a lot with people, and people have shared a lot with me based on their experience, their knowledge, their study, the way that they approach life. We all approach life differently. But the way I approach it is, hey, if I know something, I'm at least going to attempt to tell you if it will be for your benefit. Doesn't mean you're going to listen. Doesn't mean you want to participate. Just means that, hey, heads up. And that's all I would ask from anyone who knows something that I might need to know to help me and my family. So I figured I'd like to put that out there as, kind of like a mission statement, right? But it's a purpose for what it is that we do at Bitcoin Otter. So carrying on, we're going to go into the news. And this is almost always fun. But this week, we have people melting down. These people they're going crazy, right? So I think I touched on it last week about Celsius, the app that allows you to deposit Bitcoin and then make interest on it. So you can make interest on it on your Bitcoin or other cryptos. Now, that being said, they paused their withdrawals. So you can't withdraw your Bitcoin or other cryptos. can't withdraw from that app at this point in time. Now, there are varying opinions as to whether or not this insolvency is going to go all the way to bankruptcy, whether or not the people who are stuck there, and I don't know if you remember, everyone, but I did mention that particular app, and I was involved in that particular app. I had some of my Bitcoin, not a lot, but I had some on there and making interest. At some point, the heat, I guess, in the kitchen got a little too hot for me, and I withdrew that amount that I had there. However, it's now impossible to do so. So I'm happy that I did it, but at the same time, I would like to think that the people who still are in there are going to be okay. I would like to think that. There's no guarantee that they're going to crash and burn. They're hopefully regathering their resources, and they've already been offered an offer from another. It's called Nexo, another crypto finance consortium. So that's something that's in the news. If you'd like to check that out, this here is from the Gateway Pundit. It says, another blow to the U.S. food market. Fire breaks out at a food processing plant west of Waupaca County in Wisconsin. Okay, everybody. This at some point has to wake up the normies, Joe. If you're a normie, and a normie is someone who watches TV, and if you do watch a lot of TV, you don't know the current status of things. It's just a simple thing. You could be extremely intelligent. You could be a professor of whatever. You could be in Mensa. You know what Mensa is? The whole Genius Academy or whatever they call it. It's a group there. So you could be there. You could be at that level. But if you watch TV to get your news, you're not going to be aware. Now, when I say that this place in Wisconsin went up in flames, it's notable because it's probably going on 30 of them now. Yeah. Food processing plants that either exploded or got on fire. Okay? Now, when you include, and I've seen this list running around the internet, when you include, how would you say, killings of perhaps bird flu infected birds and kill-offs of pork and things like that, we're up to 100 events now.
And we can't forget that the event that just happened this week about 10,000 head of cattle or something like that. I don't know the exact number, but it's...
Yes, in Oklahoma. So what are the authorities saying? It was too hot for them, Joe. 10,000 of them, they dropped dead, 10,000 cows because it was too hot. In Oklahoma, it was too hot. Again, Joe, I don't understand why people believe the authorities, but if you find that you're watching TV on a regular basis, you may want to wean yourself from that habit. It's really not conducive to your critical thinking ability. It really isn't. And more into this clown show we go, especially coming into this summer of craziness. We're going to have to wean ourselves from the usual suspects, which in this case is the mainstream media. You're not going to get anything of value out of those people, I'll tell you that. So this one here is from the Epoch Times, right? Pretty good news outlet. The Epoch Times says that CNN, CBS, NBC, ABC, Sunday shows don't cover attempted murder of Supreme Court Justice. Ooh, wow.
That's right.
Another... Yeah. Go ahead.
Aren't they calling for the... I think they just moved to approve to do away with the security details for the...
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that, Joe.
Yeah,
Thanks for sharing.
They moved to approve that.
Chihuahuas. Wow, man. That, and again, on TV, you're not going to see or hear these things. Yeah, they went after Kavanaugh. There was a guy, he got caught with duct tape. I think he had a pistol, a bat or something. He was going to, do something nasty to Kavanaugh and his family, or I don't know what was going to happen, but he had something planned. But it's okay. It's okay for the TV people because, well, it's Kavanaugh. It's he's conservative. He leans conservative, so you could do whatever you want to him. You could go to his house. You could do whatever you want because, well, they don't really care about him, and they don't think you need to know that somebody's out there trying to kill him. Yeah. So don't worry about that. If you watch a lot of TV, don't worry. It's just a Supreme Court justice. I mean, we already lost one in a ranch here in Texas. He was driven around. I don't know how many hours, and then finally pronounced dead over the phone. And he was found with a pillow over his head on a ranch somewhere. So yeah, that's I won't go off on that tangent because I could go on for a long time on that one. So many news networks on June 12 omitted the mention of the recent attempted murder of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, even though some touched on issues facing the nation's top court. So they touched on it, knew about it, didn't decide it was important enough because, well, he's conservative. Yeah. So here's another thing that came up that I noticed, and I think our astute audience would enjoy this one. So I'm talking about this from a perspective of a change in paradigm, Joe. We're going out of an old system, going into a new system, and this perfectly exemplifies that. Check this out. A Saudi Arabian golf league, a newly established golf league, invited many PGA Tour players from around the world to play in their league. And this is what happened. The Saudi League causes a schism in golf, okay? As the PGA Tour suspends 17 top players, including Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson. A new league formed by the LIV Golf Investment and the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund played its first tournament on Thursday in London. Players were reportedly paid upwards of $200 million to join the new league. Yeah.
Wow.
And what did the PGA do? They suspended 17 of those golfers. 17 golfers suspended who were getting $200 million, some of them, to join the league. And what does the PGA pay? Well, I think they only pay out average 8 to the 8th place, I think, in their tournaments. So who knows how many try to qualify? Who knows how many actually qualify? They go into the initial rounds and they get pared down all the way to the top whatever, and then they go into the finals. So I think it's about 8 that the PGA Tour pays, and these people are paying up to $200 million for these golfers, right? So again, a paradigm change. There is not a sharing of revenue, Joe. This current system doesn't share revenue. You won't receive revenue unless you're in the very high echelon, and that is simply unattainable for the vast majority of people. So when we go into the shareable economy, which we will very soon, Lord willing, when we go into the shareable economy, when advertising is done between you and I on our websites, on our social media platforms, whatever it is, so we have affiliate links for other people's businesses and projects, that is going to benefit everyone who wants to be included. See, the power brokers of today's world don't want you included. Not at all. What else do we got here? Any questions over there, Joe? Anything going on in your brain there?
No, just I caught the article about that, and so apparently it didn't pass. The House passes expanded security for Supreme Court justices.
Okay, so families. Expanded security.
Yeah, 27 Democrats voted no on that.
Oh, those lovely people, lovely people. Well, good news for regular people, maybe not so much for those people, is that we recently had a new congresswoman elected here in, was it the 34th district?
Yes, that's right, 34th district.
Yes. Oh, wow, Mayra Flores. And another thing that Miss Mayra brings to the table, okay, is that she was actually born in Mexico. Yeah, so when the Democrat Party believes that they have pretty much a lock on the Hispanic vote, I think they're going to see differently pretty soon.
That's right.
Differently pretty soon. And believe me, I'm no lover of the Republican Party. I'm not a political party type of guy. But at the current time, with the current group of whatever they're doing in there right now. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I really don't know, Joe. But it's not working. And the issue for them, the big problem for them is they cannot hide it from anyone anymore. You go to the gas pump, you go to the grocery store, you're going to get smacked around. You're going to get smacked around, and we know the cause of it. It's been done intentionally. It's obvious. Okay, you can blame Putin as much as you want. It ain't that. Oh, going off on the side note on Putin, the Russian ruble is stronger than ever.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, we're going to sanction them. We're going to teach them a lesson. Go into Ukraine and take out our biowarfare labs. How dare you? Yeah. What a joke. Okay, so another one here is that there's going to be a Nigerian exchange to use blockchain after regulations allowing for the new technology to be implemented on the country's, I think it says bourse, I don't know what that means. Starting in 2023, traders will use blockchain to settle transactions on capital markets. What does that mean for the average person? Blockchain is a wonderful technology. When we talk about Bitcoin, we have to remember that it's built on a technology called blockchain. So blockchain is something that very much secures transactions. It makes them very much transparent. So it's a technology that runs in a way that is decentralized, meaning there are many computers, many processors out there processing these same transactions, decentralizing it from one core entity, agency, person, whatever you want to call it. Therefore, there are so many of the legitimate information, there's so much of the legitimate information out there of each transaction that it's nearly impossible to ever cheat it. That and the fact that it's transparent, so you can open up a window and look in at all these transactions at once and see the ones that pertain to you or whatever, and you can exactly see where they came from, where they're going, all that good stuff. That being said, more and more things, I anticipate, more and more things will be worked out on the blockchain. Again, for that security and transparency. Imagine, Joe, if legislation in our Congress was created and the budget that was lent to us by the Federal Reserve, okay, gets spent using blockchain. Could you imagine that? There's no more pork. There's no more sending $40 billion to Ukraine, and then it ends up in some energy company that Hunter Biden's a part of, or that Mitt Romney kid. You know, all these corrupt politicians send all of our tax money, to other places, and then who knows where it goes. Certainly doesn't go where they say it's going to go.
Yep. They can't even tell us where it goes. I mean, they've been asked, and they can't tell us where money goes.
No, not at all. Not at all. Here's some good news. Good news for those people in Latin America. Again, we'll touch on the fact that the biggest strides being made in progress, as far as progress goes, have been made in the unbanked countries. The people who they don't have a bank account. Most of us here in the U.S. have a bank account. It makes things easier to create transactions to do finance. Now, if you're unbanked, it's much more difficult, but crypto helps that. Your wallet is a bank in one form. So Visa rolls out multiple Bitcoin cashback cards with partners in Brazil and Argentina. So it says basically here that they've launched their first crypto cards in the Latin America region and will debut their new products. So I think some of them go up. Okay, this one here says customers will receive 2% in Bitcoin. So 2% of your purchases will be returned to you in Bitcoin. Wow, I'd sign on to that in a minute. Now, I don't know if they have to deposit any Bitcoin. I don't know what the buy-in might be, if any. But hopefully we'll see more of this in the future, and it'll come our way. I've already done a piece on the crypto.com that you can basically, you send crypto.com for, I think it was at the time that I looked it up, it was $4,000 worth of their crypto called CRO, C-R-O, and you deposit that, you leave it there, and you will gain interest on it. And not only that, you will receive bonuses from your purchases. So you carry that thing around, you pay for gas, and you pay for gas. You get that percentage will add up, right? So you pay for gas, groceries, and all that stuff with this card, and you get bonuses in crypto. How great is that, right? So these things are moving up, they're moving on. And I guess a word that those of you out there may be wondering, although nobody's called yet, Joe.
No one's called yet.
Nobody's called yet.
No one's called. The lines are open. 956-789-0702. 956-789-0702.
Yeah, so like I said, $25 in Bitcoin is coming your way. First caller. I'll send it, no problem. No problem at all. But what I'd like to address is, a lot of people think, Bitcoin's really going down now. This is not the first time this has happened to Bitcoin or cryptos in general. This is not the first time at all. It's going to be there. In fact, I'm not a financial advisor by any means. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. But people like me and there's a growing number of us, see this as an opportunity. This is an opportunity where you could buy a larger amount of Bitcoin for a less amount of dollars. To me, that's a great deal. It's a bargain, you could say. But again, that's me. That's me. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. I'm just saying I see this in a different light. And again, if you want to differ with me, if you want to bicker, or you want to agree, give us a call. What else do we have here? This is from Cointelegraph. 71% of high net worth individuals have invested in digital assets. 71% of high net worth individuals. This came out this week sometime. So I don't know what their parameters were of high net worth individuals. Okay. However, they're probably millionaires, right? I guess high net worth would be in that range. So 71% of them own digital assets. If you're a high net worth individual, I would suspect that you know a little bit when it comes to finances. So hopefully they know something that we're going to know, or we already know. So wow, that was a long one. I'm not going to go all over that, right? Here's a good one. I had a friend of mine 2 days ago, I think it was, approach me. And I'm always looking for constructive criticism. And again, I invite you to call and talk to me if you don't know me. Or email us at bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. Please, anytime. Just let me know. Constructive criticism is accepted. So, for my friend Moises, I want to bring some facts to the table here, because this is what he said, and I'm going to agree with him. A lot of times when I'm on a roll, I will cite my opinion on things. It's to what I would like to think an educated opinion. However, many times it's just that, an opinion. So, Mo asked me for some facts. So this comes from the Motley Fool, okay? It's an investment type of website. So 7 facts about Bitcoin that will surprise you. Here they come, Mo. 7 facts. Around 20% of Bitcoin has been lost forever. How can that happen? I'll clear it up in a minute. Around 20% of Bitcoin has been lost forever, according to crypto data firm Chainalysis. Around 20% of Bitcoin has been lost or is stuck in wallets that can't be accessed. Today that equates, well, this was probably last week, so it's a lot less than that, but today that equates to 3.76 million Bitcoin. 3.76 million Bitcoin, worth about 190 million. So that's the lower end, but it's going to stay 3.76 million Bitcoin. So how does that happen, Joe? How can people lose Bitcoin?
I'm curious.
Okay. Bitcoin, as I have said before, is a doorway to freedom. It will allow us to be much freer than we currently are in this centralized society with banking institutions such as the privately owned Federal Reserve ruling over everything financial in our lives. So, with freedom comes responsibility. Okay? And that's why a lot of people shun freedom. And I don't know if you've dug into this, listeners, friends, family. I don't know if you've dug into this before, but I have. Many people have shrugged off or shirked away from freedom, increased levels of freedom in their life, because it certainly does mean increased levels of responsibility. In this case, and I'll use this as a perfect example, if you want to engage in cryptocurrency, if you want to engage in the exercise of being your own bank, so to speak, and shrugging off the shackles, if you will, of centralized banking, there are some responsibilities that you have to keep in mind. The first responsibility is you have to keep the key phrase of your wallet secure. So you're given a 12, 24, or 36 word key phrase to secure your wallet. So it makes it nearly impossible for anybody to guess the sequence of those words, the actual words themselves, all that. But I always encourage, and I've always been encouraged, to keep that off of your phone, to keep it off of your computer. Don't take a picture of it. Nowhere where if one of your devices gets hacked, it can be compromised and your funds are stolen. So you write them down in a book, couple places. You secure them in a couple places. Tell a trusted family member where it's at. Especially if you were to pass, you get in a car accident or whatever, and that somebody at least in your family can get your investment. So these people have lost their Bitcoin forever, right? So if you haven't shared with anyone your private keys, think about it. Maybe some people don't have anyone, I understand that, but still, 20% of Bitcoin has been lost. Now, that sucks for the people who lost it, right, Joe? However, for the people that haven't lost it, it actually adds a deflationary method, a deflationary quality to the asset, because they're not going anywhere. It's just kind of sidelined, parked. So it's another deflationary aspect of the model. And there's this one guy, man, in this article it says it, there's a guy in the UK, right? He believes his hard drive containing 7,500 Bitcoin.
Wow.
See, there are early adopters that got into Bitcoin when it was just cents or just mere dollars, hundreds of dollars, and then maybe even 1,000 or whatever. But they got into it. Like this guy with 7,500 Bitcoin probably got in really early. And it's, I guess, on a hard drive, which is, it's in a local garbage dump, he thinks. I don't know how that happened. I don't know. Somehow his laptop got tossed. So it says here that he's been trying to get permission to search there for years. Oh man, 7,500 Bitcoin. Okay, fact number 2. Brock Pierce took out the first Bitcoin mortgage in 2019. Okay, so there's that. That's a fact. Somebody actually took out a mortgage using Bitcoin in 2019. Right? And most recently in the U.S., United Wholesale Mortgage announced it would accept Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as mortgage payments. It's coming along, everyone. Slowly, but adoption is coming. Fact number 3. There have been 668 million Bitcoin transactions, according to blockchain.com. Wow. That number has increased more steeply in the recent years. At the time of this writing, an average of 265,714 transactions took place each day. Wow. 668 million Bitcoin transactions. Fact number 4. Fact number 4 is Bitcoin is legal tender in El Salvador. Any listener of the show will know that. Right, Joe? Mm-hmm. El Salvador is cutting edge when it comes to Bitcoin. They're starting up their Bitcoin City. One of the groups I belong with, they actually put an office. They placed an office within that Bitcoin City confine. So hopefully we'll be there. We'll get a footprint there for future prosperity, Lord willing. Fact number 5. The last Bitcoin will be mined in 2140. Okay, I've gone over this before. The Bitcoin mining process, the rewards for that are halved every 4 years, so it stretches out. But there's a definite end. There may be no end to quantitative easing with the Federal Reserve because they're just going to keep printing until it crashes. But there is an end to Bitcoin mining, and that's in 2140. None of us will be around then, but with that halving effect, there will be less and less exponentially per year. Again, deflationary. That's what we want. Number 6, a pizza purchase was the first commercial Bitcoin transaction. That's fact number 6. Fact number 6 about Bitcoin. A pizza purchase. On May 22, 2010, Laszlo Hanyek, I might be murdering that pronunciation, paid 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 Papa John's pizzas. 10,000 Bitcoin he paid. Okay, we went over this before, but just going over these facts. And then fact number 7, there are almost 100,000 Bitcoin millionaires.
Wow.
Almost 100,000 Bitcoin millionaires. Presumably, this means people who were not previously millionaires became millionaires because of Bitcoin. You know, I'm probably about $1 million away from being a millionaire, but someday, Lord willing, that'll be me.
That's right.
So, Forbes included 12 cryptocurrency billionaires. So you got 12 billionaires in the 2021 billionaire list. So, for facts, there are some facts. Again, if you want to learn about something specific, please call us. Email me, bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. We'll get back to you. And again, we're 3 quarters in, and don't call us, Joe.
That's right. Once again, don't. This is an awesome contest. I wish I could, run outside and call in. I would call in, but the number here in the studio is area code 956-789-0702. That's 956-789-0702. Call the studio for your chance to win $25 in Bitcoin.
Yes. So, another thing that I thought would be informative for everyone today is the 3 stages of a bear market. Now, I didn't come up with this. This is somebody called Yano. He's on Twitter, right? But when I read it, I saw that it had merit. I saw that this person had obviously thought about this, had some financial savvy to him, and I figured I'd share it. I figured you guys would appreciate this. So he says there are 3, and this is a thread off of Twitter. So he says that there are 3 stages of a bear market. We just entered stage 2.
We're getting a caller.
Oh, we're getting a caller here. We're getting a caller.
All right, we're going to answer live. Hello, you're listening to 97.7 FM. You are live on the radio. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, my name is Christina Garcia.
Christina Garcia, how are you doing? Thank you for calling the Bitcoin Otter Show.
Christina.
Hello, hi.
How are you doing today, and how can we answer a question that you might have, or is it a comment that you'd like to make?
I've just been very interested in Bitcoin and actually, but never been quite sure if it's something reliable to go into. So this has been very interesting to listen to.
Yes, it is an interesting time. So your first purchase of Bitcoin was earlier this week, you said?
And I've been wanting to, but I've never been really sure if it's something secure or something sure to go into.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a Bitcoin wallet?
I don't.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the Bitcoin Otter phone number, and then offline we'll correspond, and you won't even have to purchase your first Bitcoin because you're going to get it from the Bitcoin Otter. Isn't that cool?
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So, if you just want to leave it at that amount, I'm going to send you $25 worth. If you want to leave it at that amount, that's fine. But if you want to increase it, you're gonna look at it in your wallet. And do you have Cash App or PayPal or something like that?
I use Cash App very, very often.
You do use Cash App? Okay. We can go over how it is that you open up the ability for you to buy Bitcoin through Cash App. Very simple. You may actually have a wallet on Cash App right now and not even know it. So we'll go over those options too. But suffice it to say that it's going to be much easier for you to get into it now because you're going to be gifted Bitcoin. So you're going to be able to look at it, watch it, maybe send a little bit of it to a friend or a family member for practice. However it is you want to explore that. But it's going to be something that, hopefully the bug will bite you, so to speak, and you'll have, increased knowledge over time, because you're going to look at it differently once you possess some. It's kind of like, and I was going over this with Joe, one of our episodes. Have you ever bought a vehicle and then looked around town as you drive around, and you see more and more of that same vehicle simply because you're now paying attention? Yeah. So it's going to be like that, hopefully with you, with Bitcoin. It'll be that way for you, hopefully, with Bitcoin, where you now have some, so you have a vested interest in what goes on with it, and you'll hopefully naturally just grow into looking up, different sources of information, checking out people on YouTube and podcasts and so forth, and you'll gain knowledge in the cryptocurrency, and hopefully, you go in at an advantageous point, which is what I believe now, and you work on your knowledge, and then when you're ready for it, you go forward. And if it's not right for you, you don't do it. But at least you're going to have some exposure to it, and you're going to have a different perspective now that you're going to own some.
Awesome. Thank you.
You are definitely welcome. We very much appreciate it. Anything else you want to ask us or comment on?
No, it's just, I guess I'm a bit excited to start, and I guess finally start.
Okay. I'm having trouble getting that last part, Joe. What?
Say again, please.
That it's pretty cool that finally, after some while thinking it, overthinking it, I'm finally going to start having it. So that's pretty cool.
Excellent. Yeah, so Christina is sharing with us that, she's been mulling this over for a while now, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that have been mulling this over for a while now, but the fact of the matter is, it warrants that. It's not something that you want to jump into, and it's not something you want to mortgage the house for. It's not something you want to put the light bill into. It's none of those things. It's just something that, if you're interested, we can help you at Bitcoin Otter, but also, if you do it on your own, which is also highly encouraged, do it safely. Educate yourself first. Don't jump in to the point where you may be doing foolish things without even knowing it. And that's the concern. So one of my favorite videos, I've mentioned it before, I'll mention it again. It's called 10 Things to Do Before Trading Crypto. And it's put out on YouTube by a woman named Crypto Casey. 10 things to do before trading crypto. It's very good. She takes it very slow, very articulate, and it's very good info. So I would definitely recommend that video also.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Let me get you.
Yeah, we'll keep your information. Thank you for calling and for watching and listening to the Bitcoin Otter Show. We will take down. I'll save your number, and then we'll call you right after the show and get some detailed information so that we can get you set up with those $25 in Bitcoin.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Keep
you.
listening to 97.7 FM and the Bitcoin Otter Show.
Thank you.
Awesome. Wow, that's so cool, Joe. Our first caller.
Excellent.
Christina Garcia. Did she mention where she was from?
No.
Okay.
I have to ask. Now, I wanted to ask you because you mentioned Cash App. Now, I know you can. It's so easy. You can even get started through Cash App, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Like, in fact, I'm going to send Christina some Bitcoin from my Cash App account that I put in there. And it looks like, I don't know if we can see this, if you can see that, but it's in there. I have a small amount. It's only $57 worth, right? But here's the thing that is going to be beneficial. See, as the price goes down, you're getting more Bitcoin for less money. So when it goes back up again, which I fully believe is going to happen, when it goes back up, you're going to have received more Bitcoin for that $25 than you would have received on the way up. or you would have last week. Like last week, it was 30 something and change, right? 30,000 and change. Okay. This week, it's 20,000 in change. So basically, it dropped by a third, but you can now buy a third more. Right? I mean, if you're thinking about it in the way that I do, and I'm not saying that we all have to think the way I do, but this is the way, I guess, entrepreneurs, and I haven't been an entrepreneur very long. I come from a blue collar family. My dad was an auto worker. I'm a wage slave. I work for dollars and cents on the hour. People pay me by the hour. So it's not something that I'm accustomed to, but while I'm telling you, I'm really enjoying it, and it's been since January of this year that I've decided to get involved with an entrepreneurs group and become one myself. And when you study how entrepreneurs think, they look at times like these as times of opportunity, times to sow the seeds of prosperity, right? To build up your positions, things of that nature. It's almost the antithesis of what a person who only knows making money by the hour. And that, to me, is something that I want to help share with people, that yes, you too can be your own personal entrepreneurship person. You can do it on your own. So with this paradigm, we can now see that if you want to buy Bitcoin, you're going to get more right now than you would before. And I would like to mention another thing, and this is important. Bitcoin was about 30 grand last week. It's 20 something right now. Here's the thing. Even though it was like 20,800 and something before the show, even though it's just, and we would say, just 20,800 something per Bitcoin. What does that mean, Joe? It means that the Bitcoin is still 20,800 times better than the dollar.
Wow. Yeah, people don't know that.
Right. I mean, it's a valid perspective. It's just one that we don't really visit that often, right? So if you look at Bitcoin, even at this what would be considered a low price point, 20,000, let's say. So that's still valued in dollars 20,000 times what a dollar is worth. So that's the perspective I take. Even if it goes down to 10,000, 9,000, 8,000, whatever, it's still that much more valuable than the US dollar. So consider that for your thought process. Now, we're coming up to the end of the show. We have one caller. We can have another one if we got time for another caller, if you'd like to call in. Again, thank you, Christina, for calling in. But I was going to go on to the 3 stages of a bear market, and as I don't think the market's going to turn around in a week, Joe, I'll put this one on the slate for next week. Okay, so we'll go over that next week. What I would like to do is do a little recap. Joe has taught me in his radio knowledge to do a recap of the show. So basically, we came in with the greetings and blessings that we like to give to all of our listeners and audience members. And then I set out to explain what it is, my purpose as a provider of information, my purpose that I conceived of when I started all of this. And it is basically the purpose of do unto others as you would have done to you. It's, again, Bitcoin Otter is a faith-based organization. I would love for someone who has knowledge in a certain area to share it with me, even if I don't utilize it in my life, even if I don't act on it. I still feel better for having been included in that knowledge, in that information, at the very least, that data being shared with me. So when I consider that to be my personal opinion, I want to share information, I want to share knowledge, share data without obligation. When I share this, there's no obligation. I do not expect that anybody's going to act on this. What I'm saying is, I have learned this, consider it. So that was in the beginning. Then we went over some news, the food market. You know, we're having some intentional food shortages coming up, right? And let's see what else. The golf thing, right? So the paradigm is changing. in the world of sports even, that some of these people are going to go to where they get paid because they have a valuable skill. They're not just going to be pushed off the leaderboard and not see any money for their endeavors, right? Visa rolls out multiple Bitcoin cashback cards in Brazil and Argentina. So that's another good thing. So basically we went over the news, the fact that if you watch TV, you don't know that a Supreme Court justice could have been assassinated this week. Everyone but TV watchers know that. So there's a lot going on, Joe, a lot to talk about, a lot to consider when we want to shelter our loved ones and ourselves financially from the hardships that are coming up. We don't know what's coming up this summer. Many of us anticipate riots again. The Antifa people, BLM people, they're going to be out in the streets doing what they do. They're going to, they're going to burn, they're going to rob, they're going to hurt people. That's just what they do. That's their job. Actually, it literally is their job as the foot soldiers of the insurrectionists. But I can get on that tip a different time. So that's the recap. We had our first caller today on the Bitcoin Otter Show. That was awesome. Thanks again, Christina. We're going to get with her offline because I'm going to be make good on my offer of sending $25 worth of Bitcoin to the first caller. And that's going to happen. So another thing is, we haven't mentioned it, Joe. I'm sorry, we were remiss, but the cryptocurrency meetup is tonight in basically about an hour. So if you want to come by here at the McAllen Creative Incubator, 601 Main Street here in McAllen, we're going to meet up, have some coffee. Crypto con café is what it's going to be. We're going to have crypto con café, and we're going to have a good time. Y en español también, si ustedes quieren pasar y podemos hablar español también.
That's right, and the address to come out and hang out for the Crypto Con Cafe is 601 North Main Street in McAllen. That's 601 North Main Street in McAllen. We're inside the McAllen Creative Incubator, and what you want to do is you want to park in the back in the alley. That's where the parking lot is, and those doors will be open. Come right in. You should be a young lady at the door. Just tell them you're here for the Crypto Con Cafe, and go right upstairs. We're going to be hanging out upstairs in one of the classrooms, so you'll see us.
Yes. And as we sign off, I'm going to start heating up the coffee pot, get it ready. We just have Gabby from Cultivarte. Should probably already be outside waiting to get on the microphone here. So I want to thank you all for tuning in, and those of you that couldn't watch live for tuning in on the recorded version video of it. I really appreciate it. Contact us, please. Again, it's bitcoinotter.media@gmail.com. We've got a website, bitcoinotter.com. So look us up, check us out, and we will be back next week. Have a great week. Blessings to all of you.
That's right. And keep listening to 97.7 FM The City, and keep checking out the Bitcoin Otter Show on Facebook and on YouTube. Have a great one. Until next time.
Bye-bye.